Hi there guys, welcome to the latest episode of the Cryptoverse, your regular dose of news and commentary on Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies and blockchains. My name's Chris Coney and I'm the host of the Cryptoverse and the founder of cryptoversity.com, the online school where you set the price to learn about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies and blockchains. And you can find out more at cryptoversity.com. On the podcast page, you can subscribe to the Cryptoverse on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube or Steemit. And to support the Cryptoverse and see it continue, please vote for this episode on the Steam network or send us a tip to the Bitcoin address on that page. Now, this is a special Sunday edition of the Cryptoverse, so it's not going to be as snappy and quick as the normal ones, so I'm just going to take it easy today. Let's take a look at the market roundup thanks to CoinMarketCap. And straight away today we can see a monstrous jump for Monero. Monero has gained 66.62% in the last 24 hours, and that's on a weekend day. And that's on $29.7 million worth of trading volume. So after nearly $30 million worth of Monero was traded, the price was left up by 66%. So a Monero is now worth $7.08, as of right now anyway. That puts Monero in the 7th position in overall market cap, and it's leapfrogged Dash and Nem and MadeSafe. If you check out our episode of the Cryptoverse from a few days ago, we were talking about how Monero was adopted by some dark markets, and yes, that's one of the reasons why. Well, I guess that's the reason why it jumped pretty soon after that, but I can't imagine that's continuing to fuel its growth. In other news, Steam continues to fall, another 8% off. I did buy some more Steam yesterday. I bought it at 91 cents. So it's gone down even further since then if I'd have waited. But, you never know when the bottom is. It could have easily have gone up after yesterday. So waiting for the bottom, you don't know where the bottom is, do you? So that's fine by me. Let's see what else we got here. Anything of interest? Peer Plays has shaved 13.6% today, putting it down at $14.49. It's a big fall. Other than that, pretty normal today. There are some other gains and losses, but they're not really interesting to me today. Let's see what else we've got in terms of the Bitcoin price chart. Still reasonably quiet. A slightly larger than normal candle yesterday when Bitcoin shaved 1.8% off its price, but still very tight in the range. Still very tight between that $600 mark and that $550 mark. In fact, over the last 10 days, it's even tighter than that. It's more like $585 at the top and then $550 at the bottom. So it's getting tighter. Now that, just casually mentioning that might be a little bit of a, what do you call it? An ascending triangle? Let's see. That could be that. Yeah. A symmetrical triangle, not an ascending triangle. So if you're watching the YouTube version of this episode of the Cryptoverse, you'll just see that I've just drawn the symmetrical triangle on the chart there. So the lows, there's a few lows that have connected together that are getting higher, and then the highs are sort of getting lower, which is putting a pinch on the price. Now the last time this happened, I think we exploded to the downside, actually. Yes, but it was right here, back in the end of July. But that unfortunately coincided with the Bitfinex situation. So I don't know if it was pure price action or what. But I'm going to leave those lines on there and see if the price obeys them. I'm not going to trade that because I don't do short-term trading. I usually buy and hold stuff that I believe in long-term. So that's going to do it for the market analysis. And that's also going to do it for the first half of the Cryptoverse. So stay tuned for the second half, where a whole lot more is coming your way. Hi, and welcome back to the Cryptoverse. My name's Chris Coney. Now it's time to turn to the news, courtesy of Bitcoin.com. And again, Jamie Redman is coming at us with another article. This article was published yesterday, August 27th, and it's entitled, "The Yours Network is to use Bitcoin in competition against Steemit." So I thought this was very interesting. Steemit, Scenario, and whatnot are kind of on the top of my radar right now, keeping an eye on those. So I thought this would be good in that series. So with all the hype surrounding decentralized blockchain-based social media platforms such as Steemit and Scenario, another next-gen network is on the horizon. I've actually heard of this Yours network already, but I haven't heard much about it in terms of where it's at in development. But now it has resurfaced, it seems. The article says that back in April, lead developers of the Yours network, Ryan X. Charles, Steve McKee, and Clemens Lay released their vision to the public, a platform that places social media in control, in the control of content creators through the power of Bitcoin. Yeah, so this is going to be the main difference. The Yours network is going to use Bitcoin as the currency rather than a native currency like Scenario with its AMP token or Steemit with its, Steem tokens or Steam-backed dollars. So it says the Yours network is to challenge blockchain-based social media alternatives. A while back, Ryan X. Charles left Reddit, where he briefly worked as the site's cryptocurrency engineer to produce the Yours network. The goal of the project is to utilize Bitcoin to breathe new life into content creation and social media interaction, such as commenting and picture sharing by providing a financial incentive. In an April blog post on Medium, the Yours network writer and developer Steve McKee explained, quote, "The internet itself is a network, and the Yours peer-to-peer platform exists in conjunction with it as the network that seeks to monetize all other networks. More aptly put, no matter where on the web the content comes from, we want Yours to be the destination for where you come to monetize that content. Yours will allow you to take content you put online and create a separate channel for you to get the money that you really deserve for your creativity." Close quote. The Yours network team hopes that their project will fill the Bitcoin gap left by other popular social networks such as Steemit and Scenario, which both use altcoins to monetize their platforms. The use of altcoins has led many Bitcoin fans to dismiss these social networks altogether. The Yours network hopes to leverage this skepticism and make their platform into a strong Bitcoin-based competitor to Steemit and Scenario. I've got a feeling that they've got a point. They do have a point. Yes, it's a good point, isn't it? It's the network effect of Bitcoin. And while it is arguably one of the most inferior cryptocurrencies in terms of its feature set and its performance, that kind of pales into insignificance when you look at adoption. And then if we go back to CoinMarketCap real quick, that's why we look at the Bitcoin dominance figure. Or at the minute, Bitcoin accounts for 80.3% of all cryptocurrency market cap. And it also accounts for vast majority of the trading volume. And there is something to be said for that, There is something big to be said for that. I was watching a video of Amanda B. Johnson yesterday when she spoke to the Atlanta, there was a Bitcoin meetup group. She was talking to them about Dash. And she was saying that she asked herself this question once, like, when does a cryptocurrency become money, right? And she was saying, like, when it becomes the unit of account, basically, when things are priced in that currency. And that's the biggest problem with having so many altcoins is if I'm a merchant, say I am a merchant at cryptoverse.com, right? How do I decide which coins to accept, officially? And people can use Shapeshift to pay in pretty much any currency they like, but I have to decide officially what cryptocurrencies I ultimately want to receive and hold. And that's the problem with having these private currencies like Steem backed dollars or AMP credits in Scenario, because unless someone can spend that outside of the network, then it's a challenge, isn't it? And that's the major benefit of having Bitcoin as the currency. It's already got a whole economy outside of your own platform. And then this article goes on here. Other blockchains have non-existent ecosystems. That's kind of what I was talking about. This Ryan X. Charles explained in July that his team will leverage Bitcoin because it is the largest technical ecosystem in existence. This is a big deal when it comes to dealing with open source software, documentations, standards, APIs, and a significantly larger community. To Charles, a new blockchain either has no ecosystem whatsoever, or if we copy Bitcoin, has an ecosystem only insofar as it overlaps with Bitcoin. Well, for me as an educator in crypto, this is kind of a double-edged sword. On the one hand, the more complexity there is, the more opportunity there is for me to create tutorials and whatnot. But every time a new currency appears, there's a whole new set of tutorials that need to be done there. Where do you get the wallet from? How do you download the wallet? How do you send and receive transactions, with this new coin? Is it the same as Bitcoin? How do you back up your private key? Is it the same as Bitcoin or not? Etc., etc., right? So with anything that's built on top of Bitcoin, that initial set of tutorials that would be like how to get yourself a Bitcoin wallet, how to secure it, all that kind of thing, that would only have to be done once. And then things that we built on top of that, you'd already have, your currency and your wallet sorted, right? So that's one of the benefits. And the article goes on to say, as such, Charles doesn't believe a platform like Steemit can last, detailing in a blog post as follows, quote, although we are delighted to see blockchain-based social media a reality, we worry that Steem cannot last. The burden of building not just a community and a technical platform, but also a novel crypto system and supporting economy is extremely high. Security and scaling problems with their blockchain have a smaller team of experts incentivized to solve them, so solutions will come slower. Companies and services such as wallets and exchanges will be fewer in number and less featureful. When they encounter regulatory issues, they will have fewer allies. Close quote. Well, Bitcoin has that problem as well. This is something else, coincidentally, that Amanda was talking about yesterday. When you have a network like Bitcoin and only one of the roles is financially incentivized, which is miners, they're the only people in the Bitcoin space that are paid for supporting the network itself. Everybody else, including me at Cryptoversity, including blockchain.info, any wallet provider, they have to have a standalone business that makes fees by providing some other service that isn't in direct support of the network. Now, it supports the ecosystem surrounding the network, but it doesn't support the network itself in terms of its infrastructure. And that's what Amanda was arguing is the unique thing about Dash is that it has the 3-tier split of the block reward that financially incentivizes everything that you need for a successful cryptocurrency network. Because you can't just say, oh, all we need is miners and that's it. Because you just have a bunch of miners mining a coin, no one would be using it, and therefore it would be valueless. So having wallets and having all these other things are all of equal value. But the way you split up the block reward basically makes a declaration as to how important you think everything is. So Bitcoin basically says that mining is the only thing that matters. How do we know that? Well, because the code says 100% of the block reward goes to miners. There we go. It's plain and simple. Now Dash, on the other hand, it says, well, in terms of priorities, we think there are 3 major priorities. One is mining, one is full nodes and a governance system, and then the third one is everything else like marketing, advertising, conference speakers and all that kind of thing. And then you go, okay, now you've got your priorities. What proportion are they? And the Dash network says, well, I think mining and the nodes and the governance model are about equal. Well, what are you going to do about it? And they say, well, we'll give 45% to the miners, we'll give 45% to the master nodes, and then we'll give the rest of it to the budget system to pay for everything else. So like marketing and all that other stuff. Even Amanda B. Johnson is paid out of the treasury, or the 10% that doesn't go to miners or master nodes. So there's a declaration right there. You know exactly what the Dash network values and in what proportions. So the Bitcoin network, and you can see the problems of the imbalance there, where the only thing that matters in Bitcoin is miners. There are consequences to that, because the truth is that's not true. The miners are not the only thing that matter in Bitcoin. A decision-making system matters because when you get to things like the block size debate, things grind to a halt for a very, very long time. Anyway, on August the 1st, the development team stated that testing has proven their technology to work, but that the programmers still have a good deal of work to do. Therefore, after the team implements micropayment technology into the platform, the Yours network will launch an official preview to an invite-only audience chosen from the project's mailing list. As other social media networks build their user bases, many are waiting for the Yours network to launch. By monetizing content creation and online interaction with Bitcoin, many enthusiasts believe it will trump those using altcoins. Depends on a lot of factors, though. I mean, the currency that it uses is a humdinger. But of course, the user experience and blah, 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 all that malarkey matters as well. I've seen this video before, the secret preview of the Oars platform. And at the moment, according to this video, it's very much a Reddit/Steemit style content curation system. It's not really a competitor for Scenario, as far as I understand it, because Scenario is more of a connection focused rather than content focused. That's the thing about Steemit, is the primary asset on Steemit and Reddit are the links and the content themselves. It's not so much about fostering interactions between users. You know what I mean? You can follow people on Steemit, but that's not really, that's more a benefit for you rather than a benefit for the network. So, looking at the comments here, nothing interesting in the comments particularly. Excuse me. So that's going to do it for today's edition of the Cryptoverse with me, Chris Coney. I'd like to thank you for listening today. Please go to the podcast page on cryptoversity.com and subscribe yourself on your favorite platform. Also, please vote for this episode on the Steem network. Send us a Bitcoin tip using the Bitcoin address on that page, and check out the main site for cryptoversity.com, the online school where you set the price to learn about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and blockchains. Until tomorrow, guys, my name's Chris Coney. I will see you tomorrow for that episode. And until then, it is bye for now.